I know there are a lot of dreams in this room. And when I was a college student like you guys, I had dreams also. Obviously the times were different. Opportunities obviously are better today. In my day, black players, particularly from colleges like Tennessee A&I, which is now Tennessee State, were not drafted. It was a quota system in the NBA. Race played a primary part than it does today. I was a #1 draft choice in the NBA, so I must have been kicking ass and taking names, okay? And that was the case. We had a occasion to win 3 straight championships. You guys don't know that, and I wasn't, and I tell this story everywhere I go. I wasn't a very good student at Tennessee State. I was consumed and intoxicated, you might say, by the whole drama, sports, girls, and everything else young men are involved in. And obviously, and there was a situation that really changed my life in terms of education and taking this process seriously. I left Tennessee State as a #1 draft choice and played 4 years here without a college degree. But let me tell you something, a transformative thing happened while I was in the NBA. My number is hanging up in this gymnasium. My number is hanging up from my high school. My number is hanging up from Madison Square Garden. So, you know, obviously I was a very good player, but I didn't take education very seriously, and hopefully Coach Ford is keeping you guys focused on, if everybody in this room doesn't play professional basketball, at least you walk out of here with a degree and prepare to do something else with your life. You guys don't know that I'm also a poet. Let me tell you about the situation. Without finishing Tennessee State, what happened at Madison Square Garden, you guys were not born. In 1967, we were playing against the great Oscar Robertson, and I had played in the NBA for about 6 years, and I ruptured my Achilles tendon. And usually that is a career-ending injury. And they took me to the dressing room, and the doctor walked in. He said, "Dick Barnett, you might not play any more professional basketball." And I was lying on the table, and I said, if I can't play professional basketball, what am I qualified to do? I didn't take education seriously. I didn't get a degree. I'm not prepared to negotiate and do anything else in the real world. So I decided at that moment whether I can play any more professional basketball, I better go back to school and become a serious student and get prepared for my future. And that's how I ended up as Dr. Barnett. I didn't go back to Tennessee State, got my bachelor's from Cal Poly in Pomona, got my master's from New York University, and got my doctorate from Fordham University. The intellectual capacity was always there, but I wasn't prepared. Here's a little poem for you guys. I went to the court every day, honing my skills so I could make them pay. There were no off days and time to relax. My moves and my touch had to be exact. 4 to 5 hours a day I would put in, Rain, sleet, and snow was part of the toll. At the end of this ritual, my game was super bad. My skills were complete. Everybody could be had. I was the talk and toast of the town. Handshakes, publicity, and offers abound. But my dedication had a regrettable flaw. My classwork was shoddy, and it was mostly my fault. And what transpired going back to school and getting prepared, Dr. Dick Barnett, I've written 16 books. I run a center called Sports Scope, the Center for the Study and Research of Athletes and Sports in American Society. I do a tremendous amount of lectures. I'm in 4 or 5 halls of fame. I've been able to turn my dream into an adventure. And I've got, my son is probably older than most of you guys, and I talked to him about American society. One of the things that has transpired today, I always tell people to vote. You know, the presidential election is coming up next month, November, I believe it's the 7th or whatever, and we've got to vote and make America obviously a better place to live. And one of the things that I tell my son is 27 years old, and I tell him, never understand what America is all about. Understand what your history is, how we got here, and who we are, okay? And let me end by saying this. I can talk on and on, but I won't. Let me end by saying this. This whole Dr. Barnett thing, I have to laugh when people call me Dr. Barnett because obviously I wasn't a serious student for a long time until I woke up. And what guided me was 5 principles. Consciousness. As a black man in America, I had to understand who I was and how did I come to be, okay? Consciousness. The second C was commitment. When I said in that poem, 4 and 5 hours a day, that wasn't just a poem, that was real. That was what I did. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, every day. I played in the NBA for 15 years. The average career of an NBA player is 3.5 years or less. Consciousness, commitment. The third C, young men, is conviction. What does that mean? Conviction means the path that I'm taking is the right path for me. To become, I dare to be great. You guys were out here working out. Hey, it was a good workout. I did that every day. I used to break into this gymnasium. I broke into the gymnasium at Tennessee State so often, the president, Dr. Davis, said, give him a key so he'd have to break into the gym on Sundays when everybody else went home, okay? The third C was conviction. The fourth C is control. I've never had any drug in my body except morphine, and that happened to alleviate the pain of my ruptured Achilles tendon. So, I used to be young just like you guys, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this college experience as well. You should, hopefully you'll get some work done, beautiful young ladies, and you guys are going to do what young men do, what I did. You guys aren't going to do anything No, it's just your turn. That's what I tell my son. You're not going to do anything new. Everything that you've done, I've already done. It's just your turn. And that's what it's all about. And the third C, and the fourth C was, what was it? Control. The fifth C was courage. I had to have the courage to say no. I could have crippled my dream a number of times. I had people say, let's go rob somebody. In the NBA, I probably have been to more parties than all of you guys combined. The most beautiful women in the world. Drugs everywhere. And, offer, Barnett, do you want to take this? Hey, that's not going to help me reach my goal and live my dream. And I've been able to turn my dream into an adventure. And let me end by saying this. And Martin Luther King said it a long time ago about dreams. And I've been able to live a dream. He said, to live your dream, you've got to reach down into the inner chambers of your own soul and sign with the ink and pen of self-assertiveness your own manhood and sign your own emancipation proclamation to live your dream.